Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
Radiant team pick.
Earth Shaker.
Radiant team pick. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with game 2 of the winners bracket in Gamazor 2015. This is Nazar on the
Dire
casting
team
coach with
ban.
Arun, and we have the draft underway. So Arun, we've seen
Radiant
Undying being
team
banned in the
ban.
first phase once again. Will we get to see this hero in this tournament?
I doubt it. It's not gonna happen, I guess. But, okay, I see Clockwork being banned. That seems like a respect banned here.
10 seconds
Absolutely.
remaining.
So TA has certainly been watching the last match and that game that
5
happened
seconds
yesterday.
remaining.
And Chopper's shown that his Clockwork is what is to be feared most.
Right.
We see
Reserve
Winter Wyvern
time.
and Lina on the side of the Dire, and Earthshaker and the offlane Phoenix, perhaps.
Radiant
on Gamers
team
Launch's
pick.
side.
TAO seems to be support heavy, I guess. Those teams really excel in their supports, and we have to mention Gamers Launch too. They take their support seriously. Again, not to mention, should mention that AA Ancient Operation probably. What do you think? You might see an AA this game.
Well, so far we've seen Lina and Winter Wyvern.
10
and
seconds remaining.
I'm not sure if this is support or mid Lina. I've seen that these teams prefer to
5
treat
seconds
Lina as a mid
remaining.
hero, while I prefer Lina played as a support personally. She
Reserve
certainly excels at both roles. Well, we've got Lina, who may or may not be a support. So, and meanwhile, we've seen
Here comes Lich.
Earthshaker
Dire
and Lich
team
being
pick.
picked as the supports. I think that Gamers Lounge is giving TAO a little more respect in terms of the drafts than they've shown throughout this tournament.
Right.
They aren't going for these exceptionally early game mid support heroes who will have a heavy impact on the game, such as Ancient Apparition. But Lich is one of those exceptionally early game heroes. He's been buffed quite a bit. His win rate has increased a fair bit this patch in
10
6.85,
seconds
with
remaining.
the change to sacrifice being quite important.
5
we'll
seconds
see what
remaining.
happens.
He's the sacrifice is also increased in an indirect way.
Reserve
I
time.
think now you can sacrifice the what do you call the catapults.
Absolutely, and you can do
Yeah.
it in range of your opponents, which
Yeah.
is also a significant change.
Doesn't share the XP.
Right.
Right. So Lich almost in every cases wins the lane, at least in terms of equilibrium
Absolutely, he
They-
has the
yeah.
ability to maintain the lane for his carry.
carry. So that's a positive aspect. And Lich is one of my favorite heroes. Let's see how he turns out this game.
Well, he's certainly one of the best heroes. He has a very high movement speed. He's able to have his impact in the team fight even without his ultimate, which is a defining team fight ultimate. But even without it, you notice that a Lich who's able to stay on the corner of the team fight, walk in, use Chain Frost, walk out, he still has a significant impact on those early team fights, all the way up to minute 40. He's very significant. He also has this ability to, once he has an Aghanim Scepter, to deny parts of the map to the opposing
Radiant team
by
pick.
using his ultimate on the Ancients. So your opponents can't walk past their secret shop
Right.
once Lich has gotten a few stacks there. We'll see if it's unlikely that they'll go for the strat because it does put your ultimate on cooldown for a minute or so. But I'd certainly like to see it.
Dire
And we do see
team pick.
Spectre and Centaur War Runner being picked. And well, as I said before, this certainly does seem like Gamers
Standard.
Lounge is going for a longer game this time.
Yeah.
They won't be rushing with this one. Phoenix, Earthshaker, none of these heroes are especially dive worthy. Phoenix
Right.
can do so, but I don't think that Gamers Lounge is going to be as
10 seconds
uninhibited as
remaining.
we've seen them so
But
far in this
One
tournament.
thing that is constantly
5
happening
seconds
with Gamers
remaining.
Launch is they go for real good mobile heroes. Say Phoenix or Spectre.
Reserve time.
They can be global, almost at least. Phoenix has a very long dive range, and Spectre can be anywhere and everywhere.
Well, TAO has no shortage of mobility either with Lina
Yeah.
and Centaur War Runner. I mean, the whole team will be given Centaur's ultimate. And once he gets his Aghanim Scepter, it's 60% damage reduction, and
Right.
that's something that you can't underestimate.
And they can run over terrains as well. Have to mention that.
Right?
And here comes Storm Spirit.
Radiant team ban.
And TAO says, we see your Storm Spirit, let's see if it works against you.
Storm Spirit can anytime jump on Lich, kill him, keep killing him, and Lich can't do much.
I actually doubt that he
10
can.
seconds remaining.
We saw Gamers Lounge use the Storm Spirit to absolutely stomp the
Dire
Witch Doctor in the
team
previous
ban.
game. It
Right.
was, and the Witch Doctor is played by quite a good player who we've seen excel on cores earlier on.
Radiant team pick.
But I don't think that he'll have as much luck against this Lich. The reason I'm saying that is mainly because Chain Frost has had a buff where you have your attack speed slowed up to 30. It used to be 20, which is already pretty significant, but now it's 30. So when Storm Spirit jumps on Lich, he's going to be attacking really slowly. So he's going to have to get all of his magical damage off first.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
I don't think Lich will be as easy of a soft target for Storm
5
as it
seconds
seems at
remaining.
first glance this patch. Which, as I said before, this Chain Frost buff and this Sacrifice buff
Reserve
have
time.
meant that Lich has had an increased pick rate and a much
Dire
better
team
win rate this
pick.
patch. We see Puck, and this is extremely interesting because I haven't seen this hero around for a long time.
Sometimes, yeah.
In 6.84 he was completely ignored because in 6.83 as well, mainly because of his inability to scale into the late game. He did receive his Aghanim Scepter in 6.84, which does go through magic immunity.
10 seconds
but
remaining.
that didn't seem to be quite enough.
But you can see the synergy
5
here.
seconds
Puck goes
remaining.
really well with Phoenix, Earthshaker, Spectre. You know, the moment they group up, Puck and Earthshaker, Phoenix are gonna kill them. The moment they split, the Haunt is gonna be up and Spectre is gonna kill you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna split or group up? That's the big question.
Well, TAO certainly has enough in their draft to respond to that sort of thing. They've got the anti-mage, and well, once again, we see two of the top 3 carries this patch, anti-mage,
Right.
Spectre and Luna. This should be quite the challenge. I think both drafts are equally matched. You can't really say anything at this point of the game. If you let's have the early game, mid game, late game analysis.
Okay.
Certainly, early game also equally matched since Earthshaker.
I
Not
would
too
I
good.
would say Lich's lane always wins, so I will go Lich's lane any day. So
Well,
early-
Lich
they
should have a reasonable lane, but Earthshaker isn't spectacular in lane.
right,
So the Centaur Varana shouldn't have too much trouble.
right.
And
They have a Winter Wyvern who's also strong early in the game.
right, so Phoenix might not exactly be
This
happy,
is
but
this is a perfect match. This seems like a perfect match. Couldn't decide this time. Usually I could go in an instant say this team belongs to the early game. This is late, but this time it's real confusing. But I really like the in-out drafting of Gamers launch, because if you group up you die, if you split up you die. That's something you have to think about.
absolutely. So let's call out the names now. We've got Lone Wolf on the Spectre, RSR on Earthshaker, Chopper on the offlane Phoenix, Puck on Puck being played by Frozen Arrow, and MMR Donation and Co, who we saw with that beautiful Ancient Apparition last game, playing the Lich this time. And that's the Radiant side Gamers Lounge. And now on the Dire TAO we see Prankster
30
on the Winter
seconds to
Wyvern,
battle.
Avalon on Anti-Mage, Centaur Warana being played by Jelos, Chibi Storm Spirit, and Azazel's Lina, which will be a support Lina, which makes me happy because I like playing Lina as a support. That's something personal, I suppose. Well, the reason I'm saying this is because Lina is a hero who doesn't need much to have the same impact she does as a mid hero. All she needs is Yule Scepter and she's practically a core.
The battle begins.
You see Centaur Warana starting with his
Stupendous!
and a pair of wards each, and he went down, had a little skirmish, came right back. Now he wants to block his creeps. He's got boots, so he should have no trouble blocking these creeps. Meanwhile, Spectre is having trouble. Well, she's gotten the range creep past. It's not particularly easy to block as a Spectre, but the Earthshaker helps her out.
But we got the Lich
He
here.
got the Lich. He hasn't leveled anything yet. He uses Sacrifice. So that's one creep less for the Warana. He's not going to be having beautiful. And Chopper, let's see how his Phoenix compares with his Clockwork and his Darkseer. We've seen plenty of that this tournament. He's managed to.
Those Lina's right clicks do a lot of damage actually.
Well, we seem to have technical difficulties. This is happening at the start of every game. Well, let's just see if Chopper's Mango will see us through it. Alright, so we seem to have
That
solved all
was
of that.
most welcome.
And let's see how the puck is dealing with this Storm Spirit. They're both even on CS for now. Daya has an observer ward up here. Radiant doesn't seem to have placed one quite yet. They have placed one down here right now. So it seems they're prioritizing the Spectre's lane exceptionally well. They don't want this Centaur Warrunner doing anything to this Lone Wolf. He's going to be having the time of his life. It is a defensive tri lane on the side of the Dire as well. So both teams saying, okay, this is going to be a farm war. Whoever has the net worth will win this game. Meanwhile at middle lane. So trading farm for now. The mango is still online. You see the mango use, that's when we know the mid games will be gone. So what build do you think Spectre will opt for this match? The Vanguard Rush, the Boots First Vanguard, the Mask of Madness, which is
Who
exceptionally
turned up
uncommon,
the
but
heat?
I found to be exceptionally useful in pubs this patch.
Till now, I'm really confused, but I would say Radiance is always better. The damage build is better. Rushing Radiance is better.
Well, of course, Spectre does get Radiance every game, but you really don't want to rush a Radiance because you want a Vanguard or a Mask of Madness to give you that sustain.
Right.
And Earthshaker's blocked in the Centaur here, and that changed the Frost Blast is extremely strong.
I think they got
Shellos is going to give away the first blood here. There's nothing he can do to avoid this. And Spectre cleans up an easy kill from the side. First blood. That's first blood. 200 bonus gold. She's already got enough for a point booster, a vitality booster. So that should be her early Vanguard if she so chooses to get it. It's only 3 minutes into the game. She's got 1,000 gold. And Anti-Mage has 4 CS more than her. Now let's have a look at the net worth. She is second on the list. And Anti-Mage just took over with his, I think he has a 5 last hit lead. Well, of course, all of this is tentative. Early game last hits, they're only going to vary by 4 or 5. As the game goes on, we'll start to see a change.
These two teams really seems like a pro level teams. You know, the picks, the way they play, everything seems to be calm, very perfect. It's all been mostly been like denying experience and level gold from the opponent and playing it safe. There's not been much of a clash, much of rotations, except for Centaur dying in the offlane. But it's been a passive game so far.
Well, Centaur seems to have decided, okay, I'm not getting anything from this lane. Let's try to sap some experience from the...
Probably I think he's going for the rune. But
he was sapping experience from this jungle camp that because he knew there was a pull. And he was hoping to get the rune, but Earthshaker perfectly blocks him off and gets the rune as well. So this Centaur is certainly having a tough time. As expected for an offlane hero. Well, on the other hand, that said, Phoenix is doing much better than he is. But perhaps that will change now with the Storm Spirit rotating top. And there goes Phoenix. I probably jinxed him that, didn't I? I said Phoenix is doing reasonably well, and then the Storm Spirit just zips out there with the haste rune. It's going to be a reasonable experience shift in Storm Spirit's favor. Storm's at level 5. Puck has made fair use of that time that Storm left the lane to get that experience.
Okay, so level 6 right now.
And Storm should be hitting that mark quite soon with this wave. Neither of these heroes can seriously hurt the other. They just have to trade off, which is what we're seeing in all 3 lanes at the moment. No one can really do much at this point of the game. They just have to trade. Okay, see what's gonna happen. And Chopper is getting on Anti-Mage's nerves. We see Avalon struggling to last hit, but he's got these fire spirits on his tail. It's not particularly easy to last hit when you've been affected by that debuff. And Storm is going in on the Earthshaker who rotated in for him, but the puck comes in with the green coil and well, Storm tries to dodge that,
Winter
but
can be so annoying.
You blew it!
I'm not entirely sure that that was effective because it's a support for a support, and it cost, well, 2 teleport scrolls, so 200 gold from the Dire.
Dire's middle
Maybe
tower
worth it,
is
maybe
under
not.
attack.
Let's see how that swung. Well, as you can see, the golden experience changes are very minor. At this point of the game, not particularly impactful. Unless it's on the safe lane. On the safe lane.
Burn, baby,
Gives away a
burn.
kill. Sorry for having that recap open, but Puck didn't notice the Lina had also TP'd in to defend earlier, and he was slightly overextended and paid for that with his life.
But Storm could have died there, you know. That Winter did save his life.
Right,
It was-
and perhaps if she had decided to move into the cliffs instead of going down into the river, she might have survived as well. And Winter Wyvern's doing an excellent job of waiting for the stacks. I'm not entirely sure about this. Should Winter Wyvern be the one doing the stacks? Wouldn't he be much more... Well, I suppose it is because he did die and he was rotating in. So he said, okay, I might as well stack this and then go back to lane and help anti-mage out. So that's why he was stacking that. Normally you'd see the position 4 doing the stacking so that he can reap the benefits of the experience when the carry finally takes the farm. And we see Earthshaker hiding in trees, seeing if they can catch out an anti-mage. But again, that's highly unlikely. He has 2 points in Blink. He seems to have taken points in stats as well. That's 5. No, he's gone for 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's got 1 point in stats. 1 point in stats. He's got a ring of health.
Both the carries and the mid lane seem to have their ults up, so I suspect there might be a fight or a
And there
gank
should be
pretty
a-
soon.
Well, there should be a rune spawning right now.
You've been burned.
We see a haste rune spawning at bot, which is spotted out by the Sub-Zero while just about to run out. So they know that there's a haste rune available on the center. And Puck gets the bounty rune. Let's zoom in a bit. Meanwhile, at top lane, as I said, there's not much they can do at top lane against that anti-mage. You can surprise him,
Right.
scare him a little, reduce his opportunities of taking farm, but really he's just rotating into the jungle with his blink. He has a blink up. He's not going to be held down at this point. Which really puts the question to the Radiant. If you can't shut down the anti-mage early game, how are you going to handle him mid game? Because you have to survive the mid game to get to the late game where Spectre is extremely powerful. So, will anti-mage really take over the mid game and prevent Spectre from ever having that huge impact that we've seen her have all tournament?
That's the big question. Now
And
they've
Lina
shifted
being
Lina
trapped
to
by
the mid.
another perfect Fisher
around.
and the Earthshaker. RS has been on point this match. I believe all 3 of the kills that Radiant have to their credit have been set up by RSR. Spectre haunts him and another Fisher sets up a kill. So RSR is doing the heavy lifting for Radiant this game. Last match we did see the Lich player do the work, and
Right.
this time he seems to do that. Okay, I'll relax for a while. Get RSR. And this is all terrible for Dire because the Storm gives himself up for the Puck, but the farm goes towards the Spectre. So
Radiant's
again,
top
not something you
tower is
want to be
under
doing.
attack.
Of course, they are
Right.
creating plenty of space for the anti-mage. He's completely uncontested in lane, has a perseverance. 9 minutes. Will we be seeing quite a fast Battle Fury? 63 last hits, extremely good. 53 on Spectre. Both extremely good carries. They've been doing really well in their lanes. So that's the 10-minute mark passing by. We see the support Lina. She's completed ones in boot.
Don't mind if
I
I
think
do.
at this point of time, Gamazor's launch is doing fairly well in terms of experience.
And we see Storm spotting out this Lich. Lich cancels his TP. Was that really the right choice?
Did he?
I'm fairly sure he did. Let's have a look.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for me?
Right, he used the teleport scroll. He pays for it with his life. Actually, no. Wait. He took out the center Warana. Well. The Storm has no mana left.
Ha!
Well, Lich actually cancelled his TP. And then Centaur, Warana and Storm were looking for him. Bought enough time for Spectre to rotate in. And they were able to take out the
Zap.
Centaur. That's extremely surprising. And I'm not sure if it was a good play. Or if it was a bad play that turned out well.
But it worked.
But it worked. It worked in Gamers Lounge's favor, so... Well, not entirely sure what to
Dire's
think.
bottom tower is under attack.
And now Dire begins the pressure towers. It's been 11 minutes, so perhaps they want some more space on the map. Because Spectre needs much more space than Anti-Mage needs. And when you have a Spectre, it's harder to create... I mean, it's harder to shut down the Anti-Mage because you need to focus on securing your Spectre, so... Anti-Mage is happy about all of this. He's okay, all of that is happening. I'm just gonna farm. I'm just gonna go take these neutrals. My supports are stacking for me. Let's have a look at this stacking situation. Shaker's going to support stack this camp. There is one stack over here.
Nikhil, so
Yeah.
who do you think is better in the late game, Anti-Mage or Spectre in this patch?
Well, certainly when it comes to the late game, that is past 40-45 minutes, I think Spectre is better. But the question is, when you let an anti-mage farm freely, the way this hero works is, he gets a lot of farm really fast. And he's going to reach level 25 well before the Spectre does. He's going to get 6 slotted well before the Spectre does. And then there's going to be this intermediate stage, the transition to the late game, where the Spectre will be expected to catch up with the anti-mage. And the onus is going to be on Spectre's team to make sure the game doesn't end by then.
Right.
So, in that sense, it's a game of survival for Gamers Launch. But you know they're not going to be content with surviving. RSR once again trying to make things happen. And Anti-Mage
Touché.
brilliantly uses the Mana Void, the mini stun, to cancel the teleport that RSR was using. So, well, he has gone down.
Dire's middle
Again,
tower
space
is
created
under
for the
attack.
Spectre, but was it worth it? Because you gave the anti-mage kills. So this is sort of a back and forth theme in this game. Each team feeding kills to the enemy carry to make space for their carry. Is it really worth it? Well, we'll see. Here, it seems that they're going to go for this tower. It's already fairly low. Not fairly low. It's been chipped away because of the skirmish that happened at the bot lane. They're pinging out the center. He's carrying him away. Earthshaker still rotating in slowly. He's been moving around a lot. Level 7. Let's have a look at the levels at this point. I'd like to look at them mainly because now every hero has his ultimate. Lina and Centaur. Well, notice that both supports on the Radiant side are doing better than the offlane. So
Right.
that's something that Dire should be worried about. They do have the high level Storm Spirit to make up for that. And that is because when you had these skirmishes, you had the Storm Spirit sort of soloing the whole enemy team. He wasn't soloing them, but he was killing one and getting killed by 3. So what happened there was Storm was getting all of the experience of that kill, and 3 people were sharing the experience of his death. So in that sense, it was good for him personally. So he's leading the experience
But
charts.
it was bad for his team since
Perhaps it was, perhaps it wasn't, because they're relying on him. He's the one who has to make things happen for them now.
at least in the middle game.
Right? In the early to mid game, until Storm Anti-Mage is fully online, he's almost got his Battle Fury. It's pretty fast. It should be 16-17
Radiant's
minutes.
middle tower is under attack.
So that should definitely be a 22-minute Manta style if he decides to forgo the Vladimir's offering. Let's see if there are any ancient stacks. There don't seem to be any from either side. Daya has stacked ancients once. Spectre is really bad at taking ancients. She usually stays clear of those. It's really difficult for her to farm them. But Anti-Mage
Dire's
can make
middle
quick work
tower
of them.
is under
So
attack.
So you see a Dire stack and not a Radiant one. And Lina is hiding behind Storm, hoping to wait for an overextension from Puck, but they're not focusing on the middle lane in the least. They're all rotating top. So there's another TP from the Lich. So looks like something might go down top. Smoke up
Okay.
to see.
Finally, some action.
So Chopper's baiting. No, this is beautiful play from Chopper. Notice how he makes absolutely no tiny indication as to the fact that his team is smoked. He just carries on doing what he's doing. He doesn't move around. He doesn't follow them, because if he does, his opponents are going to know, and that works out perfectly for them. Because now this anti-mage goes down. If this Phoenix had made the slightest indication that he's going to move into the jungle, anti-mage would have blinked out and nothing would have happened. But he just stays there and he waits, and the other three rotate in and they take out the anti-mage, who was absolutely not expecting it. That's how you do a smoke gang. That is perfect execution.
Dire's top tower
And
is
well,
under attack.
That's slightly in favor of Spectre, since her nemesis is done 1-1 to 3-0. This is another factor. Spectre is a late game hero, but as we've seen this patch, more often than not, she seems to be getting her farm well
Dire's
before
top tower is
her
under
assumed
attack.
marks. You expect that she
Dire's
only comes online
structures
later
are
on,
fortified.
but all of a sudden she's a mid-game hero because she's been fed 3 kills. And look at her, she's got her Vanguard, she's got her Treads.
Radiant's
well on her
bottom
way to
tower
Sacred
is
Tether.
under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has
In
fallen.
that sense, she is doing quite well. Anti-mage has the Battle Fury. I'm not entirely sure of this decision to come to the lane, take this farm. Suppose he'll be blinking right out. Yeah. He should be making use of this Battle Fury to clear out the jungle. He's staying mid. Well, it seems they're trying to take this mid tower since they saw Spectre on. Let's have a look at this rotation. Let's go out maximum. And they decide, maybe not. We have the double damage, but wow, Storm Spirit has been silenced, and that's really difficult for him. Centaur saves his back. He's not silenced anymore. Really low on HP, bottles back up. This Storm dying now would be painful for him, and Winter Wyvern gets knocked down by the Earthshaker and Lich combo. We seem to have some sensitivity issues. We'll have to work them out. You see, the Storm dying there would be really painful for him. He doesn't have any gold to lose, but he really needs this Orchid online in the next 3 minutes, because that's his
Dire's
timing.
middle tower
And
is
you
under
wanna hit
attack.
your timings as a team. You don't want one
Dire's
of your
structures are
cores
fortified.
lagging.
Radiant's
Because those
top
are the
tower
things that
is
are
under
gonna make the
attack.
difference this game.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle
This is-
tower has
We
fallen.
keep talking about how the anti-mage fares against the Spectre, but this is a 5 versus 5 game. So in the end, it is going to be how does the whole team fare, and a perfect ultimate comes out from Phoenix. No haunt yet. There it comes. Haunt right in. The Storm bounces away. Poor Winter Wyvern falls to the Spectre.
Radiant's
Double
bottom
kill for
tower
her.
is under attack.
Alright, so once again, a mega kill for the Lone Wolf. So this Spectre, she's going to be difficult to deal with. That's
Radiant's
more than
top
her relic.
tower is under attack.
That's 18 minutes
Radiant's
into the
top
game.
tower has
And
fallen.
that means you'll be seeing something around a 22-minute Radiance.
Radiant's
and
bottom tower is
well,
under attack.
that doesn't sound too good for the Dire. Because as I said, what Anti-Mage does is he has this momentum over his opponent. He has all of this farm and experience that you don't have. And when your team feeds that away to the enemy carry who's supposed to come online later on, you're going to be in trouble.
This is one problem you see again and again. Once you give that early momentum for Gamazor launch, they snowball out of control. Maybe I think that's starting to happen right now. At this point of time, Spectre's relic is already there. It's probably find it more for his recipe, and probably should be expecting that soon, probably in a minute or two.
21-minute Radiance should be the call. Meanwhile, he is going for the Vladimir's offering. He wants to be able to regularly do Ancients, be part of earlier fights. As I said, prolonging this game is not going to be happy for game was launched. They took out the Lina while we weren't looking. We still have a long way to go as casters. Anyway, Anti-Mage almost has his Vladimir's offering. There is a ward here, not quite spotted out by Radiant. So the Dire knows where the supports are. They know, okay, Spectre's baiting. We know that she has a whole team behind her. We're just going to let her take that tower if she wants it. We're gonna
Dire's
stick around
bottom
and farm.
tower is under
Not
attack.
doing particularly well.
Radiant's
12-6
middle tower is
kills
under
aren't
attack.
everything, but the anti-mage is leading in net worth now, because this is when he starts to spike, and you will see Spectre starting to spike. Let's see if she has her relic on. She is. Yeah, she
Dire's
almost
bottom
has her relic.
tower has
So
fallen.
that should be a guaranteed 21-minute radiance. She's got the recipe now. So 20-minute radiance if you don't count the time it takes to deliver it to her. So really, will a Battle Fury farm faster or will a relic?
You should look at those gold net worth there. It keeps jumping between Spectre and Anti-Mage. That's quite interesting to watch.
Right, but my prediction is that it will start to steadily swing in Spectre's favor, because she's having the radiance deliver. And there it comes, that's the radiance. And now, I'm not sure if this 200 gold lead is going to stay.
It's going to jump anytime.
Magnitude with
Just
me.
keep watching that net worth and it's going to jump anytime soon.
No kills. And that's going to be a third. And
Told
perhaps
you a
fourth.
storm was coming.
This is,
There's the jump.
I think at this point, Dire practically forfeited. Keep fighting without your carry. Not particularly advisable unless your carry is Spectre. It's almost as if Dire thought, okay, wait, we don't have the anti-mage. We have the anti-mage, or do we have the Spectre on our team? Wait, we're confused. And well, it's not quite easy. Anti-mage, well, he's like, okay, making use of the space, I think.
Dire's bottom tower
Spectre.
is under attack.
Okay, as I've said, she's already caught up, and now she'll start to overtake him. Radiance does farm faster than a Battle Fury because you have access to more,
Right.
because you can just pull those creeps along with you. Creeps will follow you, they aggro you onto you if you have a Radiance, which is not the case if you have a Battle Fury. She also has the evasion from the Battle Fury. Let's not forget that was re-added very recently. So that's a 17% miss chance. And
17%.
the important thing about this miss chance is not that it's evasion, it's miss chance on the enemy. So they are going to be missing their hits, so that helps your whole team, not just you. And now he's just being the lone wolf that he is. Double kill. He's waiting for the right opportunity. Armors him up. And the dispersion from the Laguna Blade takes out the Storm Spirit. That was quite something to see. Lone Wolf just soaked that up and dispersed it out to Storm Spirit. Lina practically killing her own teammate there. Well, things don't look
Dire's
too good for
bottom
the
tower
Dire.
is under attack.
Once Spectre gets his radiance, her radiance, it's almost. She becomes carry. She becomes a real
Dire's
Spectre at
structures
that
are
point.
fortified.
And this is something that many people overlook, that however minute
Dire's bottom tower
Phoenix
is
does
under
bring
attack.
healing with her Sunray, and she does have a mechanism aura as well, so I think they're preparing to end this.
Dire's bottom
This isn't
tower
trouble. He
has
has a
fallen.
shadow amulet. He's building a glimmer cave. So
Maybe. Yes.
Lina slightly off target. She didn't notice. Lich gets out of that. They've got the tower. They have no reason to linger. They'll want Roshan.
What do you think about this, Nikhil? Imagine every time Spectre gets a radiance, her cosmetics changes and she becomes even more scarier.
Well, we do have this particle effect of this
Right.
shiny Spectre. So that's intimidating in itself.
Yeah.
As you can see, she's shining with the radiance coming off of her. So
But I'm just thinking like each characters has their special items. Every time they get it, they become a whole new hero.
Right.
A cosmetic change might be really, intimidating, and it's time. Maybe you should think about it. Maybe you should tell Iceprog about it.
Well, to be honest, I believe in Dota 1, I have not played much of it. In Dota 1, Warcraft 3, they had auras. So if you buy the aura,
Right.
you'd have the aura under you.
Right.
So if you bought all the auras, you'd be multicolored.
Right.
So your hero would be distracting to the enemy team. So Dota is, when I was studying art, Dota's modeling, their character design they care a lot about color. The color is really easy on the eye. Every hero has a color scheme. So usually any set that doesn't follow the color scheme usually isn't approved.
But I'm not talking for every hero. Like Spectre Radiance, you get it. Actually, so
Right.
special items for special heroes. Maybe that will add a little flavor and character to these heroes.
Well, I believe Phantom Lancer has a Diffusal Blade and a Monkey King Bar cosmetic.
Yeah.
Nyx has a Dagon cosmetic, so there
Dire's
are
middle
cosmetics
tower
in the
is under
game
attack.
that do something like that, but
Yeah. Something
not
to change-
quite yet something for Spectre. in
Yeah.
that sense.
Something
I'm
to
wondering
change it
sh-
dynamically. That's what I'm thinking.
It's
about.
probably going to be
Yeah.
a Diffusal Blade.
Dire's top
If you want
tower
something
is
dynamic,
under
it's going to be on
attack.
the lines of an Arcana, and well, we're going to need an event for that.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're trying to start fights.
Think there's-
But are they getting waited here? The Earthshaker's waiting, and well, he allows his teammate to die, but will they get a lot more for that? There's no haunt yet. Okay, that is the he did use the haunt to get him. And well, he's melting everyone. I think that's the game right there. I really doubt that there's something that TBD can show. Lina has been the weak link for them in this game. She gave away a kill here, and again,
Dire's
here,
top
and
tower
again
is
here,
under
and
attack.
back here. So she's like 3 times in a row. It's very painful to beat Lina in this game.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And well, 3.5k gold on top of a Yasha. They're just going to go for this. There's nothing to stop them from taking
Dire's
this
top
back.
tower is under
You
attack.
don't even need the Aegis when the Spectre is level 16, and that's only the anti-mage can really deal with that. Stormed at 14. The other 3 are well below 10, so you can't deal with this stuff.
Dire's
Take
top tower has fallen.
What she could do is
Dire's
Shadow
top
Blade on
barracks
top
are
of his
under
weak
attack.
target. I think he's decided, okay, you want this.
Let the fun begin.
And perhaps not. Phoenix gets initiated on and taken out. And well, just the burn damage is improves too much for the Winter Wyvern. Bomb Spirit taken out. And then the dispersion, the Desolate going out now on the
One-on-one between
Anti-Mage.
Spectre and
Well,
Anti-Mage.
Anti-Mage just has to
Has
get
no
the hell out
chance.
of there. And now there's about
Dire's
23
top
seconds.
barracks are under attack.
That there are absolutely no heroes on the Dire side to even think about coming in. Lina buys back, but really, she barely has any gold to spend in the first place. Can she really be buying back? He gets glimmered up, dusted. Well, this Lina, level 11. For a support, still doing fairly well despite the difficulty she's been having. We'll see. And once again, you can see the disparity in how the supports have been doing. 2-8 and 0-8 versus 7-1 and 7-4. You can see that it's the supports that do the work at this level of play.
Right.
Anti-mage rotates in. He's like, okay, I bought this Vladimir's offering. Let me get some use out of it. Let's farm some ancients, leave the jungle to my team. Let Centaur get something. Tranquil boots on the floor. Trying to get his blade mail done. Storm would have liked this rune, but Frozen Arrow says, no, no, no. No, no. I think Puck has a response. It says
Alms
that.
for the dead.
Anti-Mage finishes his Manta in time for Spectre to finish her heart at 28 minutes with a Yasha and a Vanguard, which is just out of control. This Spectre. I honestly can't think of how they're going to deal with it.
It is no great matter.
Goes down, shadow bladed, and
Lights out.
Spectre is just chasing down the anti-mage. She's completely out of mana because she just allowed the illusions to hit her. But she says, "What do I need mana for? I have practically infinite HP. You can't
Dire's
dish
middle
out
tower
enough
is
damage to
under
the
attack.
Spectre because she's going to be healing right back. So she's just going to go and hit the tower, and the Dire doesn't have anything to throw at her. Just hit the tower, hit the tower. Who needs an Aegis when you have a heart?" Now the Earthshaker's building a Yules.
Dire's
So,
middle tower
I
has
think-
fallen.
You wanted mobility? You have 3 mobility items on one hero.
Dire's middle tower
And
is under
Earthshaker
attack.
drops a ward immediately. And, well, this is amazing. The Centaurs de-warded that as soon as it was placed. This is some high level play we've got. We are at the winner bracket. This is almost...
I don't see any sentries there. How do
Radiant's top tower is
believe
under
they got
attack.
regen. Let's have a look.
Probably it was too close to the tower.
Yeah, perhaps barely too close to the tower. Must have the correct place to put it is here. I think he put it here. So, well, maybe not as brilliant as we thought. Rewarding it, giving them a little too much credit is credit. They did get rid of it immediately. So anti-mage,
Immediately the pings come out.
not quite the safest choice, but well, what do you think of this? This is Roshan.
I don't think he can 1v1 on Roshan right now.
Let's have a look at the sensitivity. Wait, we worked out our sensitivity, so we should be good. When Spectre comes in, this is the fight. Phoenix gets off a perfect ultimate. Somewhere that he absolutely can't be touched. And Winter Wyvern falls to the Spectre's Radiance. And Urchika just slams the centaur off right back. And Phoenix, they've got 3 Yules on their team
Tower is under attack.
at this point. Once Earthshaker finishes his, you got a Yule Scepter on the Phoenix, Yule Scepter on the Puck, unlimited interrupts. So we can just hold someone in place potentially. For
Roshan is the worst place to fight the Radiant team right now. They have the best combos,
Right.
especially with that Phoenix ultimate.
Greeting! Silence!
so you can put once
Dire's
this
middle
Earthshaker
tower
finishes
is under
his
attack.
Yules, they can potentially hold someone in place for 7.5 seconds. And that is just scary. Imagine a puck blinks in out of nowhere
Dire's middle
and cyclones
tower
you,
has fallen.
and then an Earthshaker blinks in out of nowhere and cyclones you, and then you're just spinning around in the air for what seems to be
Dire's middle
decades.
barracks are under
And then
attack.
the scary Spectre comes out and says, "It's time for breakfast." Well, there go the middle
Dire's
racks,
top barracks are under attack.
and there goes top racks. Patiently chipping away. There's nothing that can be done at this point with the Spectre. She hasn't finished her Manta. Doesn't seem to have felt the need to. There's nothing really that can be done to stop her
Dire's
at this
structures are fortified.
Over here now.
point. Immediately goes on the puck. Not exactly. The
Radiant's
first choice.
bottom
Everyone's
tower
in the
is
sky
under
now.
attack.
Stay near! Here I am!
Zaps the Phoenix, which takes out the Storm Spirit, and Spectre takes out Centaur. Winter Wyvern sacrifices herself to save the anti-mage. Thinks about
Radiant's
going in,
bottom tower is under attack.
but his whole team is dead.
Dire's top barracks
Top
has
barracks are
fallen.
down. He should be collecting the bottom barracks as well. I think it's time for the Dire to call.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that-
Dire's
that
top
goes.
barracks has
GG well.
fallen.
GG well played. So